Hi, I'm Luis Polone, and I've been doing my best to live a life that I am actually very proud of, and to live that up to my expectations, and not someone else's or other people's expectations of what my life should look like. I recently had a conversation with one of my best friends that got me thinking about how shitty we can be to ourselves. And I kept some notes over here because I want to make sure I'm not too sidetracked and I keep this fairly concise. I do need to expand on a couple of things, but I do want this video to flow a lot more calmer and a lot more nicely. This episode is a 4-video sequence of unrelated topics of things that I, again, lived or truly understand, but I guess if I truly understand, I must have lived it. As you're watching these videos, there will be something that you'll learn from and that you can take into your own life, which is the reason why I really do these videos. For full context, so you can picture this properly, you're going to be hearing a story about a conversation between two guys in their mid to late 20s. I have a sense that that will appeal to a broader audience, but obviously I don't know that for sure. So if you feel like you were not in that bucket, but this seems interesting to you and you're curious to know what are the conversations that two guys in their mid to late 20s might be having, let me know. Unclear. We'll find out. But if you are in that bucket, I do think that you should hang around because there is a lot that we should say to each other regularly. Before I tell you the story, I want to say that I did ask for permission from my friend because it is in some way or another a personal story, and he immediately said yes. He was like, Luis, please share that story, go ahead, make the video, because I think that this is a topic that we should be discussing more and more people should have this in the back of their mind. If you're that friend, thank you. I think if a couple people benefit from this, it was worth it. 30, 40, 50 minutes here that we're spending on this, definitely worth it. So for this past year, I've grown a lot closer to this friend of mine, and I saw him going through jobs that he thought were shitty, or he didn't feel fulfilled, or he thought they were low reputation, and now he's at a job that he likes a lot more, that he feels way better about, and he's a lot more excited about it. We worked together as well. We had very tough discussions when we were working together, but we always knew that our friendship came first. So even in those tough conversations, there wasn't a doubt that we're going to be okay. We're just figuring out this business situation, and then we can go out, and right, that's kind of how I saw that. I would like you to know that he's also, I want to portray the real picture and how I see this guy. He's also the guy that will wake up at 4:30 a.m. to go to the gym to get a workout in. He does not need to wake up at 4:30 a.m. He wakes up because he knows that he needs to be up at that time, because he understands that putting the effort there makes a difference. And I say this because I want you to see what I see. He's someone who's passionate, who's driven. He's a good dude with a good heart, with passions, with aspirations. So I want you to have that in mind, because that's how I'm coming into this conversation that we both had. So this guy gets into this situationship with a girl that lasts a few months, call it a relationship. They were super sweet to each other. It was a good relationship, and they, or at least from the outside, or the things that he tells me, it seemed to be very healthy relationship. And eventually it ends because they wanted different things for their future. Fast forward a few months, he sees her at an event that we all had. We have mutual friends. They're still friendly to each other. They spoke, everything perfectly fine. Nothing crazy happened. Next day, he meets up with me at this coffee shop that I like to work a lot. He also needed to do some work, so meets me there. And then eventually he starts to tell me a story of the previous night. And he was telling her his life updates, and she was politely acknowledging it, which she has the utmost right to do so, right? They're not in a relationship anymore. She was being polite. She did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong. But he was telling me his view of that situation. He was selling on himself. He was an idiot, he said. He needed to do better, he said. And I was kind of listening to that as I'm like, okay. Until he goes and looks at me, he goes, I was pathetic last night. I'm pathetic. And at that moment, man, that crushed me, because again, this is a guy that I love, I admire, I care for. I looked at him and I said, dude, stop right now. Stop what you're saying right now. Let me be very honest with you. If I spoke to you the way you're speaking to yourself, the way you're speaking about yourself, you would cut me off. If anyone said those words about you to you, you would cut them off. You would know they're being shitty. You know they're being ungraceful. you know they are being not nice to you. Stop talking yourself down. Remember all the stuff that you've done this week, this month, this year. You've been taking care of yourself, dude. Be nice to yourself. Be gracious to yourself. You deserve it. You deserve it. This is your pain speaking. You're heartbroken. You're not pathetic. You're heartbroken. It sucks. It's pain. It's real. It's shitty. You're not pathetic. Don't say that about yourself. You deserve that you treat yourself nicer. And, we go through this kind of conversation a little bit more. And as I'm delivering those words, again, he continues to sort of, tear up. He's not full on crying. We're in public. He's trying to, contain himself. But he's kind of acknowledging in the sense of like, yeah, no, you're right. Like, you're right. But this is truly the message that I wanted to share in this video. I don't know how other ages, guys or girls, or how they're treating each other in their heads. I don't know if they're going through the same thing. Be fucking nice to yourself. No one has full context of your life but you. You're the only person that truly understands what's going on, and you have full context. Be nice. There's enough people who are not nice to you out there. And again, if you need one sentence to walk away from this video with, if anyone ever spoke to you like you speak to yourself, you cut them off. You know they're being a jerk. So treat yourself as your best friend. Treat yourself as if you liked yourself. So again, we go through this conversation. He's tearing up, and we go on for the topic for a little longer. He acknowledged that the idea that I was right in the sense of like, no, I know. He did say, I get it, I hear you, I understand. To kind of close this off, Luis, why are you making this type of content? And I've been trying to close off these videos with this little blurb. My channel is about intentional living and intentional attention. So how do you spend your time? And I think that if you're spending your time rambling in your head mean things about you, to you, you're not going to be able to remove this block, this barrier of things that are hurting you. I'm tired of people not being nice to themselves. It sucks. It sucks to see. So, take care of yourself.